Good afternoon, everyone. It's Father Michael. I'm making this video to try to describe the rationale for the interior design of the church. You're seeing right now a picture of the sunset at St. Mary's that was taken after a Mass several years ago. I thought it was appropriate to put in this video because the Mass celebrated in the liturgical space we use is meant to represent the end of our time here on earth, when the glory of the Lord will shine before us. And so when we look to designing a church, we look to the book of Revelation. The book of Revelation is the last book in the Bible, and this is the last chapter in that book. And it says this: "Then the angel showed me the river of life-giving water, sparkling like crystal, flowing from the throne of God and from the Lamb, down the middle of its street." And so the center aisle of the church is meant to look like life-giving water, sparkling like crystal, flowing down from the throne of God and from the Lamb. So of course the Lamb of God is Jesus on the cross, and his sacrifice is made present at every Mass on the altar. And so from that sacrifice, it flows down to the center of the church. That's why Catholic churches always figure predominantly Jesus on the cross. We continue reading in the 22nd chapter that on either side of the river grew the tree of life that produced fruit 12 times a year, once each month, and the leaves of the trees serve as medicine for the nations. Now, as we go back into the church and we begin looking back at the center aisle, we see both onto the right and to the left of that symbolic river pews made of wood. Those, of course, represent the branches of that tree of life. And of course, it says that on the tree of life are the leaves that serve as medicine for the nations. Now, as medicine for the nations, of course, the leaves are us. As we receive from the throne of the Lamb, as we step into that river to receive communion even, we go back to our pews and serve as leaves for medicine for the nations. What does that mean but our call for evangelization, to be able to go out into the world and to bring the healing mercy of God that the world so desperately needs? And so that's why the pews are both made of wood, and we are meant to represent those trees that serve as medicine for the nations in evangelization. As we exit the church, we see again the baptismal font, which is the very source of where the life of grace begins. And it's the first thing that we see when we also walk into the church. Surrounding the baptismal font is going to be that tile that looks like, again, a river. It's going to be a gloss tile, so it'll even shine a bit like water. And we go back out of the church after the baptismal font and reminding ourselves every time that we come back into the church of our baptism, that foundational sacrament that we received. And of course, as we walk into the church, we're reminded of that continual flow of grace that we receive from the throne and from the altar of the Lamb in the church. And so this is a bit of an explanation of what the church is supposed to represent, that vision given to us in the book of Revelation that we hope to see at the end of our life is meant to give us a vision to the future and of God's heavenly reign at the end of time, just as the sunset shines at the end of every day. And so this picture taken is hopefully an inspiration in the interior of the church, hopefully, as people have it explained and understand why they're going to church, might serve as a better guide to their mission in this life. So thanks for all your support and encouragement in this beautiful project to expand his reach, and we continue to pray for its continued success. God bless.